is an article that came out in BuzzFeed News, September 21st, 2018. Drugs, alcohol, and suicide are driving a decline in lifespan in the US, CDC says. Life expectancy in the US declined from 2015 to 2016, and more young people are dying from overdoses, suicides, according to a new report. So, overdoses and suicides are now the leading cause of death in young people in America. Life expectancy in the US has dropped for the second year in a row, and death rates from 5 of the 12 leading causes of death have gone up, according to new data. More Americans are dying from drug overdoses, chronic liver disease that's coming from alcoholism, suicide, Alzheimer's, and septicemia, serious blood infections, than they have in the past. These bleak statistics come from the latest annual Health of the Nation report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which looks at trends in health statistics, including where, when, and how people are getting sick and dying. It also measures life expectancy, which can be used as an indicator of a country's overall health. Oh, well, America's in trouble then. From 2006 to 2016, the life expectancy at birth for the total US population increased overall from 77.8 years to 78.6 years. However, there was still a decline at the end of that period, which was a reversal of long-standing trends. From 2014 to 2015, life expectancy decreased by 0.2 years, which was the first decline since 1993. The next year, it dropped again, another 0.1 years. From 2015 to 2016, according to the report. Throughout the 20th century, life expectancies climbed dramatically in the US due to better treatment and prevention of illnesses, including the use of childhood vaccines and medicines like antibiotics. For example, the US life expectancy at birth was 49 years in 1900, but had risen to the mid 70s by the end of the century. It has been on the rise in most high-income countries for a long time. However, the report also shows more recent drops in life expectancy at birth in the United Kingdom, Germany, and France. You notice how every time something is impacting in this world, it's always hitting the Western nations more than anything else. It's like the Most High is really showing us where the judgment really, truly is. There were 2,744,248 deaths reported in 2016. And overall, heart disease still kill the most people in the US, followed by cancers and accidental injuries. However, these weren't the causes of death driving the reversal of trends, according to the report. In fact, deaths due to heart disease and cancer have been declining. Drug overdoses, suicides, and chronic liver diseases are to blame for the drops in life expectancy in recent years, the CDC says. So-called deaths of despair are a growing problem in the US, especially among young people. In the period between 2006 and 2016, the number of deaths from these causes skyrocketed. The age-adjusted death rate for drug overdoses increased 72%. For suicides, it increased 23%. In 2016, there were 63,632 deaths from drug overdoses in the US, two-thirds of which involved an opioid. According to the CDC, overdose deaths rates are higher among men and disproportionately affected people under the age of 35. And that is true. And I think that is the one thing that is scaring them half to death. We already expect the elderly population to die naturally, but now you have the young generation dying right along with the elderly population. So, yeah, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And it's something they can't do anything about, apparently, because the trend has not changed for 20 years. In a recent study in Science, researchers predict that if these trends continue, overdose deaths will double every 8 years. In addition, the death rate for chronic liver disease and cirrhosis increased by 7 to 9% per year for men and 11.4% per year for women during this period. Chronic liver disease can be caused by infection with hepatitis C or other viruses, alcohol abuse, or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which can be linked to obesity. Deaths from suicides increased for nearly every demographic and nearly every state in the US, according to another report on suicide trends released this summer. Women are still expected to live longer than men in the US, which has been a trend since 1900, according to the CDC. In 2016, life expectancy at birth was 76.1 years for males and 81.1 years for females. In 2016, Hispanic people had the highest life expectancy at 81.8 years, followed by 78.5 years for non-Hispanic white people and 74.8 years for non-Hispanics, Black people. The gap in life expectancy between the latter two groups narrowed from 5.1 years to 3.7 years between 2006 and 2016, according to the report. Okay. In 2016, personal health expenditures in the US soared 2.8 trillion, which was up 4.4% from 2015. I am not surprised. They can't really tackle this drug addiction problem, not the way they're doing it. It can be tackled, but not the way they're doing it. So as long as they keep trying to make up excuses for the drug addict and not really take a hard, firm step in this whole addiction process, nothing's going to change. So you can expect to see this trend next year and the following year and the following year and the following year. But that's not for us to worry about. Let the high IQ people worry about it. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.